Hello YouTubers, this is the Giant Awakens, and today I want to talk about does 2012 spell the end of the world and things you should really be worrying about. I can't tell you how many times I flip on the TV and hear about, the Mayans predict the end of the world in 2012, December 21st, and how many experts come on and say this is going to happen. And, you heard about Harold Camping, his prediction back in May of this year, and then again in October. And so I just want to say, try to get away from all these conspiracy theories, because, I haven't seen anyone come out with any type of factual proof that this is going to happen. But there are things that are happening now and could happen in the next year, just based on the evidence that we already have. So I want to talk about a lot of things that are happening right now, and one of them is Iran. We have several warships right in the Strait of Hormuz, which transports about a third of the world's oil. We have Israel talking about, they might do a preemptive strike on Iran. We have Iran that's doing a 10-day exercise right now in the Strait of Hormuz. So all this saber rattling, this could lead to World War III. You have Chinese backing Iran, telling us not to get involved. You have Russia backing Iran with some of their missile systems. So that is a huge problem we're having right now. Also, you have the U.S. right now. We just hit 100% GDP, our debt ratio to GDP, over $15.2 trillion. Now Obama's asking to raise the debt ceiling over another trillion. All these things are bad for our economy and the global economy as well. We have unemployment rate, which is dipped a little bit to 8.6, but I see it going up after the holidays. You have oil, which is at $100, been stuck here for almost a month. That is a huge hit on the consumer. The consumer is not going to be spending a whole lot of money when oil is at $100. Think about it. Everything costs more. Food costs more. Electronics costs more. Clothing costs more. Everything. Our whole society, our whole global economy is built on oil and cheap oil. And so as oil gets more expensive, everything that we use is going to cost more. And then you have, all the countries are in debt. You have Italy. You have Greece. You have Japan. You have China, with their real estate market's about to implode. It went up too quick. You have whole cities that have been built and no one's living in them. And I think they're just doing this to keep the economy going. They have 1.3 billion people. They need to keep going. They need to have growth continue, or the whole thing is going to collapse. And that's what I talk about in my previous videos. If the credit supply doesn't keep expanding, then we're going to have massive deflation. And that's how they are doing it in China. They're expanding by constructing these huge cities and that no one goes to, these huge malls that are completely empty of people, and because they need to keep the economy going. And imagine you have 1.3 billion people, and what would happen when the whole thing collapses? You'll have a revolution. So to keep the people happy, that's what they have to do over there. But it's only going to last for, who knows how long this can keep up. Like I posted in my previous video about, the slave wages over there and the working conditions. How long are the Chinese going to put up with that? So that's another thing that's happening right now. We also have all the foreclosures that still haven't coming down the pike. I heard 4 million more foreclosures are supposed to come down within the next 12 months. That the banks have not disclosed. So imagine what that's going to do to the real estate market. And we're already hurting. So all these things that I'm talking about are things that are actually happening, and are going to put huge pressures on not just our economy, but the global economy as well. And fighting over the resources such as oil. We're all fighting for cheap oil. And the higher it gets, the harder it is on all the economies around the world. So I just want everyone to think about these things instead of dwelling on these Mayan predictions that no one has any tangible proof that'll happen, and worry about these things that are happening right now. Another one I just remember off the top of my head is the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, where the government can just come down and arrest you without any trial or with any lawyer. They can just grab you off the street, put you away in jail. So that's pretty scary. I mean, what's going to happen to our freedom of speech? What's going to happen to people who post on the internet or have shows on the internet talk about any type of thing about the government? Now they have to worry about, hey, am I going to be picked up by the government? And am I going to be whisked away to some FEMA camp somewhere where, I'll never be seen again? So these are some scary times we're living in. So I want you to just focus on that and get this out there to people that you know, and instead of focusing on stuff that we have no idea if it'll happen or not. So that's all I have for today. If you have any comments, please post them at the end of this video. And if you haven't signed up for my YouTube channel yet, please do. And everyone have a nice day, and thanks for listening.